Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, weekend again. The crypto summit was a little bit, I guess, underwhelming. I mean, the problem is always the expectations. I guess I didn't even watch it. I used the time to walk my dogs because typically these events, they are not really leading to much, right? I mean, he already signed the executive order beforehand. And I think the expectations in the crypto space were just probably too high. Not much happened. The price is still stuck in the same range on the daily chart, but also on the smaller time frames. So we're going to talk about that. What I also want to do in this video is we want to take a brief look at the DXY, the dollar index. Dropping DXY can help with global liquidity, and yeah, check it out on our main channel MCO Global. I covered recently how M2 liquidity is related to the Bitcoin price. So if that interests you, check it out. The link to that channel is in the video description. It's quite a new channel, but it's our main channel. So check it out. One of the last videos was about Bitcoin and M2, but I covered Bitcoin again yesterday and ADA as well, in case you're interested, just a few hours ago. And these are long-term outlooks, yeah. So if that interests you. So yeah, I mean, here we are still on the same in the same pattern. You know, the price is still coming down in what I believe could be a Y wave of wave 4. I mean, that might have completed. That's at least the thesis I'm following. That's not necessarily confirming a low is in, but that's currently how I've labeled it. That does not rule out another low, because as you can see, we're still printing lower lows, lower highs here in this decline. Still printing lower lows, lower highs, and it does start to look like a descending broadening wedge. I think I talked about that in the last video. So from here, what might happen, even if we form another low and hit maybe 75k, usually these wedge patterns would be broken to the upside, maybe a retest to the trend line, then go. That would be ideal. That would be as how it could work based on the white scenario. Whether we get another low or not, we have to pay close attention to the micro patterns, of course, on a daily basis, because probabilities shift in real time. But here on the daily chart, that one more low, that might happen or not, that wouldn't even change the structure. Okay, that wouldn't even change the structure, but these descending broadening wedges, they tend to be broken to the upside. That happens quite frequently, not always. I mean, it's again, it's all probabilistic. And for now, what is important to me is that we're moving down in a pattern that allows an upside breakout. We're also moving down in a pattern from an Elliott Wave point of view that looks corrective in nature. It is not a 5-wave move. Otherwise, it would be very clear. If we, had we seen a 5-wave move down and then also a 5-wave move down that breaks support, well, that would be clearly bearish. But while the local trend here on the daily chart is technically still down, it's not necessarily bearish as such until we get further signals that really a major top is formed. There's lots of speculation. Has a bull market top been established or not? I can only highlight that it's possible. It's also likely. Yeah, it's just not the preferred scenario yet. And I find that quite likely because, as you might remember from previous videos, I've been highlighting that Bitcoin has really done what it needs to do to confirm a large 5-wave pattern, to complete that actually, from the 2022 low. So from the low, from the bear market low, this pattern to the upside is technically visually complete. Yeah, ideally one more high, yes, but just visually, 5 waves up. We could get one more high on the micro level, which would be ideal, but then the bulls need to turn up soon, or this internal wave 4 in the larger 5th wave is getting very, 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 very protracted, and then it starts to look strange. For now, this would still be acceptable. Sometimes these wave 4s, especially in crypto, they are quite extended, drawn out, and so on. So yeah, that's what I'm watching for here on the daily time frame. It's important to understand that we have support here between 75k, 69k, and then there is a resistance area between 92k and 104k. The red count is the bearish one. That means that any breakout to the upside, we need to see the price break above this resistance area, and then one more high should take us to round about 130k. I don't want to spend much more time on this. Let's take a quick look at the DXY. DXY. This one is coming down. This one is, and these are, so the DXY is covered regularly on the MCO Global channel as well, in case you're interested. Actually, 1 or 2 days ago in that last Bitcoin long-term outlook, I took a look at the DXY as well. And if you follow me for a while, or if you've been following me, then you know that I am short-term bearish, medium-term bearish, I would say, on the DXY, and it's now finally following through. Why bearish? And it's related to the overall wave pattern, which suggests that this move to the upside could just be a B wave, and then we could get a C wave to the downside into the 90s, mid-90s. So a weaker dollar is also what Trump likes because of what he tries to achieve with the trade deficit and so on, to a degree, okay, to a degree. But yeah, it's being followed through. The price has now reached the next support. There could be a bounce, but at the moment it looks as if we have started the decline. Any bounce that happens from this region would likely first test the area between $105 and $105.52. As long as we stay below that, the white count is valid, in which we are moving down in a 5-wave pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. White would be more bearish as far as I can see. But after 5 waves down, we would get a rally and then further downside. Yeah, this would be the white count. Yellow count, bit different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a larger diagonal. Here it's not entirely clear how this exactly would unfold. I would assume this would be a wave 1 then, but it would go a bit too deep for a wave 1, so I'm not entirely sure how this will play out. Then we could get still 3-wave move up and then further downside, yeah, and that would potentially even be a bit more bearish. So a larger 1, a larger 2, larger 3. So that might even, the white count might only take us sort of into the mid-90s, the yellow count maybe even into the low 90s. But overall, even though probably not in a straight line, Bitcoin is expected, not Bitcoin, DXY is expected to drop further going forward. And I will provide the resistance areas as we go. That's quite good for global liquidity, which kind of obviously relates to Bitcoin's price as well. But check out the video on the MCO Global channel for that. This here is really not very interesting. I mean, at the moment, watching the micro is really... I shouldn't say that in a YouTube video. Oh, it's not very interesting. I switch off. No, but it's just frustrating to watch, right? It's just... yeah, we have to be honest here. It's just frustrating to watch. It's... so, you know, I'm not someone who's like, oh, you know, I'm going to reveal the next pattern to you. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. We have to be honest here. This is balanced probabilities in a sideways consolidation. And I'm even considering that this could just turn into a triangle that consolidates a little bit more sideways before really giving us clear evidence about the direction. For now, all I can say is the patterns we discussed in previous updates still relevant. Below yesterday's low, however, the more directly bullish scenario I have been discussing becomes less likely. 1-2, 1-2 setup. Below yesterday's low, it will morph either into a wider wave 2, but that would be highly speculative. But then support would be 82,980. Okay, and then below that level, it will probably, the yellow count will likely take it down to 75k. But because of the structure we're in, I would not expect it to drop like a stone. Again, this might turn into a triangle. I'm not going to show all of the different patterns here because it's just too messy. It just doesn't make any sense. I've got a bullish and a bearish one. And 82,980 for me is the key pivot between bearish momentum that can send us down to 75k. And then, yeah, the white count with support at 82,980. You know, the price can go higher and break out to the upside. But yeah, any break below 82,980, not good for the bulls. The white count, yeah, that we talked about, I mean, that's not highly reliable. I mentioned that, right? That's not anything I'm convinced about, especially because of the initial rally that is only in 3 waves. But exactly because of that, we might actually consider here a triangle. While I can consider these flat corrections a 1-2 setup with an overshooting B wave here as well, which would be very bullish, behavior doesn't align with that because we would see a 3rd wave normally from here. It just doesn't follow through. So this also makes it look a little bit like these 3-wave structures. So here, WXY, yeah, could be part of a triangle. 3 waves down, 3 waves up. Don't know what this again is. It might turn into a larger 3-wave move. So that's triangle. It's just super, super messy. And my comment still stands that really to get a confirmation we are finally breaking out, because that would invalidate a triangle, we need a break above the green line here at 95,180. Yeah, I mean, you see it on the, you might see it better on the daily time frame. If we take a look here at the 4-hour, I mean, the wedge pattern is great, but you also see here the potential for a triangle, right? Now we can draw that trend line a little bit better on the 4-hour. So that's one, and then we can add another trend line here. So Bitcoin has to make a decision, yeah, and it might very well be that we spend a few more days here in this sideways range. Pretty boring. So yeah, that's what my view is here about Bitcoin at the moment. So consolidation isn't very interesting to watch, but be prepared for the next bigger move because we're heading into the apex of a triangle. That's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, in case you want more content, check out our MCO Twitter X page. Here you can vote for the coins that were suggested by you on X earlier this week. Pi, I know a lot of you are interested in that. Aero, Velo, CRV. They've been requested by you guys here on X throughout the week. So you can still vote, and then probably today I will provide a video about this coin, the winner of the poll. But also you get a lot of other content on here, mindset stuff and updates and so on. Check it out. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.